everybody, how you doing? Thanks for joining me tonight. I'm really excited about this. I have Stephen Bishop from Nine Circles of Hell. He's got some fantastic products we're going to talk about. We've had a great time talking this evening, and we're going to have everything about Nine Circles of Hell and more. So let me thank JR Sound Company for sponsoring tonight. JR Sound Company is your complete sound reinforcement company. From small venues to large concerts, JR Sound can bring your live event to life. They have portable to permanent installation. They can do it all. Contact JR Sound at www.jrsoundco.com or call them at 810-743-6580. JR Sound Company is located in Burton, Michigan, but they can ship worldwide. This is a company made for musicians by musicians. Thank you to JR Sound Company for sponsoring tonight's show, and I want to get right to Stephen Bishop here. Stephen, are you there?
Yes, sir. I am here. How are you this evening?
I'm doing great, buddy. I got to tell you, I have enjoyed working with you on this last giveaway. You did a great job with what you put up to sponsor for the giveaway. We had a lot of great response for it, and you have some fantastic products, my man. It started out. I got your chili powders, both the regular and the
Yes.
smoked. Now, I've done a review on them. I want you to tell me what you do to make these and how you feel about them.
Sure, absolutely. By the way, that contest was a lot of fun, and it's really funny. I meant to send you some screenshots of some text between the winner, Rick, and I. He won. He was super excited to win, but he didn't realize that there was a Kindle Fire involved. So he got an extra surprise after he found out that he won, which was really nice to see.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. So he's like, he's like, what do you mean Kindle? What Kindle? And I was like, yeah, you get a Kindle Fire too. He's like, no way.
He thought you said Kendall.
Right. Exactly. So Nine Circles of Hell powder is kind of what started the company. Several years ago, I live in San Jose, California, which is in the Bay Area. We have a lot of microclimates. And with the drought that's been happening in California for the past several years, I ended up having a really bad season. I was growing about 15 plants, and none of them really got higher than about 8 to 12 inches, and my production was just super low. So I was trying to figure out, how am I going to salvage these to last me a long time, these peppers to last me a long time? And I just decided that I was going to dry everything and not consume anything really fresh. I'll take a taste here and there. But I dried everything. I had no dehydrator at the time. I was dehydrating everything in my apartment, just natural air dry. I had chili peppers on top of the fridge. I had them in the windowsill. I had them everywhere across my apartment. And as peppers began to ripen, I would just pull them off the plant and cut them open and set them out to dry. And once everything was dried, I ground it and basically mixed it all together and was hoping, okay, this is going to get me by. It was my first time doing anything like this. At least this will carry me through till next summer. And what I found out is that I created something that was, yes, hot, but extremely flavorful.
Very flavorful.
And at the time, thank you. At the time, I was growing only 9, I had like 15 plants or so, but I was only growing 9 varieties of peppers. And so because I was only growing 9 varieties of peppers, all of those went into that batch, and that is why we call it Nine Circles of Hell.
Well, I got to tell you, I absolutely love it. Now, you have the regular and you have the smoke. I love taking the smoke. I take a little more than a pinch of that, probably about maybe a quarter teaspoon of that and a quarter teaspoon of salt, and I mix it together. I take chicken breast and I lightly coat each side of it and let it set for about 15 to 20 minutes. Let that really get right inside the skinned chicken breast. I pour a little bit of olive oil in a nice hot pan, get it really sizzling good, and I toss them chicken breast in there already coated with your powders. And then I let it set about 3 minutes on each side and flip it over, and it gives it a nice little brown on it. and the smoke flavor from the hot peppers, it doesn't overdo it with the heat. It just blends so well. It's just like cooking outside on the grill, but with a more consistent smoke flavor, because the smoke of the peppers that you have are just absolutely fantastic. It's just what a great way to use it. Just that's just one way, you know. I mean, I've sprinkled it right on pizza and right on food also. But and what makes it so convenient is I can throw that in a drawer or in my pocket, and you can take it right along with you. And you've done a great job of the packaging of it.
Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, it was meant to be a versatile product, and it was definitely meant to be something that you could carry with you. I've even supplied people in the past when they placed an order a little keychain holder that they could fill up their pepper powder with and have it with them at all times.
Great idea.
In case they forget to take the bag. But your preparation of the chicken breast sounds phenomenal. I'm actually going to try that. It's funny that it's not funny. It's great that you actually added a ratio. Quarter teaspoon of powder, quarter teaspoon of salt. I can't tell you how many customers I've had reach out to me and tell me that they ruined their dinner because they used my powder as a rub.
Oh.
Instead of adding anything else to it. I said, no, it's not a rub. It's a chili powder.
Right.
It's something you add to your rub.
Right. And I'm just lightly sprinkling it too. And it's because it's hot. It's got a good bite to it.
Yeah, can you imagine using a whole half ounce on a pork loin? I mean, your guests would be quite mad at you.
Oh yeah, definitely. How do you get that smoke flavor in there so well?
So, I mean, it's kind of a trade secret, so
okay.
I won't go into it. But the thing that
you're actually using
original,
smoke, though,
which is yes, actually using smoke. No liquid smoke. No, we're all natural. There's no added sugar. There's no added salt. We're gluten free. It's all natural. With the hot sauce as well, which I'm sure we'll get into down the line. But so with the smoke stuff, so you have the original and you have the smoked, and both have the exact same ingredients in there. And the exact same proportions. The only difference with the smoke versus the original is that I smoke some of the 9 peppers and not all of the 9 peppers.
Oh, okay.
So that's the secret. That's how we don't get an overbearing smoky taste where all you taste is the smoke. And you still get the original flavor profile from the original non-smoked powder.
That's like you said, the flavor profile. You definitely get the different flavors of the hot peppers, and your combination and ratio between them is just fantastic, because a lot of times you can get too much of one thing, and the peppers are so strong that it takes over the entire flavor of everything. You've done a fantastic job blending these, and that's why I liked using it so well.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've worked really hard on it. I got lucky with the first time I made it, and unfortunately I didn't write any ratios down. But because I did everything by hand, I had an idea of what the ratios were. And then over the next 2 or 3 years, as I was doing this, I perfected the ratio. I have things written down. And, after people said, giving it out to friends and family, they said, hey, you should try and do something with this. So I've been making the powder for about 4 years before I even started the company. And the company has been 100% legitimate for almost 2 years now.
Fantastic. That's awesome. And I can tell that it's taken off, because I'm seeing it more and more out there. And, that because it's a small company, excuse me, because it's a small company, you have to put a lot of feet on the ground yourself to push this out there, because we don't have a lot of venue out there for these individual companies to get out there. And that's one reason why I'm doing this, to try and help everybody. But I can definitely see the people out there who are actually trying to make something of their company and push it, and I see that with you, and I can see that things are starting to come really full circle for you.
Yeah, it's really nice. We were just able to launch, you're talking about outlets for small companies. We were able to launch our first hot sauce at the 2nd annual California Hot Sauce Expo down in Long Beach this year.
Right.
And that's put on by High River Sauces and Steve Seabury.
Everybody tells me what a great job he does.
Yeah, he did a phenomenal job. The first year I went to the first one, I was a spectator. I wasn't a vendor, and it made me realize that I wasn't ready to be a vendor. So
Okay.
it was great to come back the next year as a vendor because I knew what it was like on both sides of the table. And both events were extremely successful. I absolutely love the festivals that Steve puts on. I cannot wait. I want to try and get out to the Portland one, which they had their first one this year,
Right.
and the Arizona one, which is coming up. If it hasn't happened, I think it's coming up still.
It's in November
But most
because I'm
definitely
going
next
to it.
year. Yeah, it's in November.
Right.
It's in November. Unfortunately, it's not the same weekend as that I'm going to be out there for my brother's wedding, but it's actually the week before. But you better believe next year I'm going to do my best to get out to Portland and Arizona for those ones, as well as California.
Fantastic. So it definitely shows you that going to these events does help you get noticed.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the thing is, and I'm not trying to bash anybody because everyone has to start somewhere. But the hardest struggle for someone like me in what I'm doing with Nine Circles of Hell is I've done everything that I needed to do to become 100% legitimate food production
Right.
business. I've got my health permits. I rent a commercial kitchen. I've got my business license. I pay business insurance. And a lot of these things are required, or absolutely, I'm not even going to say a lot of these things. I'm going to say every one of those things is required to participate in one of the events. But on Facebook, you see these homemakers all the time making product and selling them through Facebook or, Twitter. And that's great. It's not legal. It's great. I wish people would go a step further and just legitimize their business for multiple reasons. One, it's the right thing to do. It's
Right.
the law,
Right.
and it keeps people from getting sick.
Well, it's the
which is
same
probably
as
the most important.
it's the same as pirating music or anything else. People are taking the shortcut, and it hurts the people who are really trying to do it the right way.
Yeah, I was talking to K-John the other night, and
Uh-huh.
I told him, I said, everyone wants to be a maker, but nobody wants to be a business.
Oh,
And
that's a good point. Yeah.
yeah, and it's like I've funded my company out of my own pocket. I haven't taken a 1 cent from anybody else, and it's been rough. It's been rough. But you know what? I can go to any farmer's market. I could sell in any store. I could sample anywhere. I can go to any festival, or expo, and I don't have to worry about what's going to happen. If I get somebody sick, which won't happen because I followed the rules, or I won't have to worry about selling without a permit or anything like that. It's just I had a mentor in this. I've had several, but one of the mentors that took me step by step through the process of getting legitimate was Vincent, from the owner of Oso Pepper Company. And he's local in San Jose as well. He actually doesn't live too far from me. If it wasn't for him, telling me to do things the right way, or walking me through the process, because starting, I get it. There's so many fees that you have to pay, so many permits you have to get. It's overwhelming if you try and do it on your own. But if you have someone to take you step by step through the process, the way Vincent did with me, it's really easy. You just take your time. You get one, license at a time as you can afford it. And at the end of the road, you're a legitimate business.
That's awesome.
And there's no better feeling than that. There's no better feeling than that. So if anyone out there wants to know what it takes to get legitimate in California, because I know it varies state to state, but if you're in California and you want to get legitimate, reach out to me. I'll help you. I went through several makers trying to find someone to show me the ropes, and Vincent was the first one that actually said, yeah, I'm going to help you. I'll show you the way. So I'm willing to repay that favor anytime with anyone who actually wants to step into the world of, fiery foods and the spicy food industry.
That's absolutely fantastic of you. There is not a lot of people who will do that, and then to find the time to do that is another thing. And I got to tell you, that's pretty awesome of you to do that. Excuse me.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, that shows you gratitude for passing it on, because someone helped you on, and that's really nice. That's fantastic. Let's move on to your new sauce, man. That stuff is
Sure.
fantastic, fantastic. I absolutely love it. I wished I had a bottle here to show, but it's gone. And so
I'll
that's
send you more.
that's a definite show, a proof right there that it's good because it's gone, man. Fantastic flavor.
Absolutely.
It's Pendants Dew is the brand new sauce. Tell me how you started that and what got you into breaking out into your own sauce.
So it's something I always wanted to do, but never really had the finances to do it. In California, I thought I can get away without having a health permit and without having a commercial kitchen rental, based on the fact that my powder is considered a dry spice. Therefore, it has no expiration date. It doesn't get people sick, etc.
Right.
But when as I went through the process, I actually did have to get it. So once I got that, I was like, well, hey, there's no reason for me not to have a hot sauce now.
Right.
I have everything I need now to make a hot sauce just because of the pepper powder. So let's make a hot sauce. And so long story short, I'm not going to get into all the details, but we put together the recipe. I had some help, and some guidance along the way, but I was pretty much stick to my guns. I knew what I wanted out of the hot sauce. The pepper powder for me for the past 2 years, and I belong to several monthly pepper hot sauce clubs that have been fantastic. But you know what? I'm getting 2 to 5 bottles a month, and they're just sitting in my refrigerator. My pepper powder has replaced hot sauce for me for about 2 years. So I wanted to create something that I thought didn't exist and was going to be just something for me. And so what I did was I came up with the ingredients, and I worked with the chef, and we came up with the right proportions and whatnot of Pendants Dew, and put it into production. And when I got the test bottle, I was so thrilled because it had become my favorite hot sauce. All of a sudden, I was using hot sauce again. And
awesome.
I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I kind of created it. I kind of created it with me in mind, so it should be my favorite hot sauce.
Right.
I wasn't thinking about other people.
Right.
I was like, I just want to use hot sauce again. And it was phenomenal. And one of the things I like about it so much is I have high blood pressure, and I don't need extra salt in my diet.
Right.
So there is absolutely zero sodium in our hot sauce, and in addition to that, there's zero added sugar. I don't need the sugar either.
Now, if I
being
recall,
with high blood pressure,
the sweetness comes from, I believe, the carrots, the parsnips, and sweet onion. Is that correct?
It's not sweet onion; it's red onion. But yes,
red onion.
Absolutely, red onion. At least for me, it has a bite, but it's sweet.
Yes.
So yeah, you will see in there on the nutrition label that there is 2% of your daily diet in sugars, but that is only because of the carrots and the parsnips and the red onion. It's not because we added anything in there like agave nectar or honey or sugar. We used a high rice vinegar content, even though it's a thick, consistency sauce, and even though it doesn't taste like vinegar, it is the second ingredient in there other than the 3 peppers that we use, which is red habanero, red ghost pepper, and yellow fatali. After that, the ingredient is rice vinegar. But because of that, it does not need to be refrigerated after you open it. So again, we're talking travel purposes. You can keep one in your car. You can keep one in your desk at work. You can keep it in your cupboard instead of your refrigerator, because I'm sure if you're anything like me, you have a refrigerator full of hot sauces, and things get lost into what I call the hot sauce abyss.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I have this thing called the hot sauce abyss in my refrigerator where I open it up, I look for a specific hot sauce, I can't find it. 2 weeks later, I look for a different hot sauce. I can't find it, but I found the one that I was looking for before.
Right. So, absolutely.
With Penance Stew, it's always where you need it to be because it's not going to get lost along with all the other condiments in your refrigerator, and it's portable.
Absolutely. I actually, every time I get a different sauce, I share it with everybody. When I review them, I just don't, put it on a spoon, and which is fine. I'm just saying this is what I do. I try it on different kind of
Mm-hmm.
foods, and it really gives me a good blend of mix with different kinds of the flavors of different kinds of foods. And then I also share it with the people I work with and friends that come over and stuff. And it really surprises me. Everybody has just a little bit of different opinion about what's good and bad,
Mm-hmm.
but but I have found in the last probably 6 months, I I I only review the ones I actually love because I don't want to be saying to somebody, "Hey, your sauce sucks," or I don't want to put it out there because it's my opinion. So
Right.
that's
Right.
why I say we're only the best sauces and spicy foods are reviewed because it's truly the ones that I want to share with people, and I think they'll like it. And that's what I do with all of them. And everybody went crazy for your sauce because I even take it to work with me during my day job, and people went nuts for it. And that tells me exactly that you're right on the mark when it goes around the room and everybody's going, "Oh, that's awesome! That's
Well,
awesome!"
now I feel even more humbled. But one thing I want to tell you is I really appreciate the fact that it's called a spoon review.
Uh-huh.
Anyone can do a spoon review, and my problem with spoon reviews is 99% of the population that you sell your product to isn't going to do a spoon review. They're going to use it on something that they're going to eat,
Right.
which adds different dimensions and different flavors to the sauce that you use, which is part of the reason I didn't add any sodium to my Penance Stew sauce,
Right.
is
Right.
because whatever I put it on is probably already got salt in it.
And you know
I
what?
don't need that extra salt.
I absolutely agree with you on that point because I didn't think about it till you just mentioned it. Depending on what you put it on, brings out a different kind of floral flavor to the sauce because of either the oils in the food or the salt in the food. It definitely adds to the flavor of it, and you're absolutely right. And I I didn't get that with a spoon because I don't use a spoon. I can't say I don't
Right.
use a spoon, but I do more than just a spoon, taste. But if someone wants to do a review with using spoons, you know what? They're pushing your product. That's great. That's the final word. If they're doing a good job for you,
Sure.
who cares? You know what I mean?
Sure. No, absolutely. But, it's just nice to know, like, Bill Moore does the same thing. Bill Moore, before he reviews a product, usually he takes pictures of the food that he's put it on.
Yes, he does.
And then incorporates those into his reviews. So you're actually the first person other than Bill Moore that I know that does that, which is very cool to see.
Or, they may be doing it and they just don't talk about it, too.
Or they don't show it in the video review.
Right, because there's some guys out there that I'm trying to think of the names. I'm drawing a blank. You got Brad, and you've got Derek, and you got Michael, you got Zen. They all do a great job because their final result is, hey, this stuff is great, And
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy all of them, and Bill does a crazy in-depth job on everything. And matter of fact, I'll be talking to Bill in a couple of weeks. I'm going to have him on the show.
Yeah, it's funny because Bill was the one that was worried about the sodium content, and I was thinking, okay, maybe for the next batch I'll add a little sodium. But after being at the expo and telling people that there was no sodium in that sauce, that's what they wanted. They seemed excited about that. So now I don't think I'm going to. I definitely value Bill's opinion and his insight. But the one complaint he had is that the flavors would pop more if there was some sodium in there. And I was, I kind of took it to heart, and I was like, wow, I have to actually add salt. And now I realize I don't. I've talked to enough of the public where it's not necessary, and which is good because it's going to keep my costs down overall too. I mean, I know salt's cheap, but still, every penny counts these days.
Absolutely.
And the other thing is too is it doesn't really fit into what I was trying to do with Pen and Stew. You know, I keep playing on 9 Circles of Hell. You know, 9 peppers for the powder. Now Pen and Stew only has 3 peppers. So where does the 9 come from? Well, we've got 3 peppers. We have 3 vegetables. We have carrot, parsnip, and red onion. And we also have 3 herbs and spices, which is ginger, garlic, and my 9 Circles of Hell smoked powder.
Well, there's
the only thing that's not, yeah, exactly. 3 times 3 is 9. The only thing that's not a part of that 9, and we leave it out because we only need it for legal reasons to keep people from getting sick, is something to control the pH, which is the vinegar content. And we use rice vinegar because it's the most subtle vinegar that we could think of using, and it balances the best with the flavors of the ingredients that we've provided.
Well, I think you've done a fantastic job at it. Like I said, everybody I share it with absolutely loved it. And we usually order out like on the weekends for breakfast, so everybody gets something different. And it went around the room, and everybody went nuts for it. So you did a great job on it. And I did the same thing with your powders.
Thank you.
And we had a few people that put a little too much on their food, but they wouldn't listen to me.
That's when it gets fun.
Yeah, I just kind of sat back and go, well, here we go. This is going to be fun. But, Stephen, you're doing a fantastic job.
I do that with myself sometimes, too. So, you know, sometimes you'll see me pouring out, and I'll be like, oop.
Yeah.
And then everyone looks at me. Because if I say oops, then they know I really put a lot.
Yeah, exactly. What's next for 9 Circles of Hell?
So what's next is you know, really we only have 3 products right now, and 2 of them, you know, are almost identical.
Right.
So the next thing that we want to do is we want to either go for kind of, you know, Pen and Stew is probably, for me, I give it an 8 out of 10 on heat. I'm not one of your massive chili heads that can, you know, just scarf down whole pods and things like that. I do enjoy eating fresh pods, but I don't do them whole. I nibble on them throughout the evening or with a meal or whatever.
Right.
So Pen and Stew is a solid 8 for me, almost a 9, depending on how much I use. I would like to make something more approachable, be it a hot sauce or a barbecue sauce that's more of a medium.
Okay.
And still use the 9 Circles of Hell powder in it. You know, all the products that we plan on making is going to contain 9 Circles of Hell powder. Because that's what, you know,
that's
basically birthed the company that we are today.
Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
So, you know, it's either going to be a medium-style barbecue sauce, or it's going to be a medium-sized or medium-spiced salsa verde, like a hot sauce, a green hot sauce.
Okay.
You know, but on a medium level, and a true medium, not a chili heads medium.
Right.
You know, and from there, you know, once we get those going, you know, we're just going to keep, you know, we're going to keep, I want to hit all the levels of heat. I want to have a mild, I want to have a medium, I want to have a hot, I want to have a super hot. And, you know, right now I just kind of want to, you know, keep things small, let people enjoy what I'm putting forth, and just grow from there. I don't want to jump into too many products at the same time. I'm actually sitting on several products right now that I'm not going to release just because I need to take my time.
Okay.
But there are some things in the work that have already been prepared that basically I just need the support of the you know, the pepper world to you know, get the money up so I can actually release these products, because like I said, I'm sitting on about 2 or 3 right now, and would love to get them out there, but just can't afford to. So all I can say is, you know, stay tuned, because we're thinking about things.
Well, fantastic. One last thing before I let you go. Where can people get both your pepper powders and your sauce?
Sure. So if you want to buy off the web, it's basically 9circlesofhell.com, and that's spelled with the number 9, I-N-E, circlesofhell.com. And there, if you you don't want to buy off of the web, you can actually go to our store locator, and we're at Heatonist in Brooklyn. As far as the powder goes, not the hot sauce yet. Heat Hot Sauce Shop in Berkeley. They just closed their temporary brick and mortar, but you can order both the powder and the hot sauce off of their web store.
Okay.
Their brick and mortar will be reopening soon, so you can go in person soon. We're at Mikey V's down in Texas with the hot sauce and the powder, and then we're in 4 locations with the powder in Georgia, and all 4 locations are under the same company. It's called Atlantis Hydroponics in Georgia.
Okay. If anybody forgets this and you want to go to his website, you can also check out my review on tastingtheheat.com, and I have a direct link right to his website, and you can follow it through that way. I really appreciate you being with me tonight and talking to me. I really hope things really start cooking for you, because I know you're doing such a great job out there, and it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you this evening, Stephen. I really appreciate that.
So thank you again for everything. I really enjoy tastingtheheat.com. I really enjoy what you're doing. I think your video reviews are great. I think your website is great. The interview thing is unheard of at this point in this industry for the most part.
I hope it takes
people get
off.
interviews on radio stations or television shows, but you don't see someone doing the Facebook Live interviews too often, and or at all. And I was really impressed with your interview that you did with Hella Hot Sauce, which
Yeah.
is actually based in the Bay Area as well.
Right.
And only a few miles from me in San Jose. They're located in Campbell, California. They've got great products too. So if you're listening, check them out as well.
Kyle is a great guy. My God, he's a hoot.
Yes,
man.
he is.
I love that guy.
Yeah, and at the Hot Sauce Expo, he had Boobzilla there. And if you're not so familiar with Boobzilla, she's a wonderful person, wonderful character. She has her own hot sauce that was created by Hella Hot
Yes.
Sauce.
I
it's a
just
phenomenal
reviewed
sauce.
them last week. Absolutely. You're right, and it looked like you guys are having a great time with all of them, because I think even Techno Destructo was there, and Blockhead was there.
He was, and boy, that was something to see. I mean, people didn't know what. I think he changed costume like about 3 or 4 times throughout each day's event. So, I mean, you saw him as Uncle Stam, you saw him as full Techno Destructo. I mean, it was amazing. It was amazing for sure. I definitely highly recommend High River Sauce's expos that they put out. I know they do New York. I know they do Long Beach in California. They have their brand new one in Arizona, the brand new one in Portland, and I think they have a couple others that I can't name off the top of my head. But all those events are a blast.
In New Jersey, I think they have next, or that just got over with. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they do a Taco Fest too, which is different from the hot sauce expos that they do. But you're guaranteed to find some spicy stuff there too. So definitely check them out.
Fantastic. Thank you again for this great interview. I really appreciate all your help. I want to thank everybody out there for watching tonight. And if you want to be a guest, or if you want to sponsor a show, contact me through the Tasting the Heat Messenger, or contact me at tastingtheheat@gmail.com. Please share this live event with your friends, so we can get more people recognizing all these fantastic hot sauce and spicy food makers that are out there. I want to thank JR Sound Company again for sponsoring the show tonight. It's been a fantastic time. I want to thank Stephen from 9 Circles of Hell. Fantastic product. Check them out. And remember, when you're out there, keep tasting the heat.